Joe from Theory of a Deadman, and you are listening to Backstage Access, where the real show begins.
So beautiful, she knew it every single day. Got smiled at her left and right around the way. Yeah, it makes her feel good, wonder why she stays so afraid.
Hey, this is Chris with BackstageAxxess, and we are lucky to have with us here today Joe from Theory of a Deadman. Welcome, Joe.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks for asking. So, I guess we should start off right away and talk about the new album that's going to be coming out end of January, Say Nothing. Now, everybody's saying, we've got to look at the lyrics because this is taking you guys into a kind of a heavier direction lyric-wise where you kind of started it with the RX Medicate single. So maybe tell us a little bit about how the band has evolved from a lyrical standpoint from album to this album.
Sure, yeah. There was a big impact from RX to not only our fans, but to people that have never heard us before. And that song, I think, brought a lot of awareness to a problem that maybe some people don't know about. There's obviously a lot of people that have either experienced it themselves or potentially know somebody that has. And that song really brought us into a place as a band where we went, wow, I think we need to start talking more about other issues that the world is facing. And when we came from a place of our last records that were a little bit more lighthearted, a lot of breakup songs,
right.
A lot of love stuff, a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff too. All of a sudden, Medicaid, that just was like, wow, what a difference. And we were, sometimes it's a little, scary to touch upon such serious issues.
Sure.
And when we saw the reaction, or the positive reaction from that song, we felt like it was perfect time for us to keep going with that idea.
Okay.
And really reach out to a whole other list of serious issues that are going on in the world. So yeah, this new record, Say Nothing, that comes out early next year, is if you will, a continuation of Wake Up Call, the record Wake Up Call.
Okay, cool.
But it's not. The last one was there was some darker material, some lighthearted stuff. This one's really kind of all the way through from front to back. It's kind of a darker record.
Okay. Well, I know the single History of Violence has been out for a little bit now, and the video also that accompanies that, and I'm sure you've gotten some strong reactions, dealing with that whole issue of domestic violence that's touched on in that. Is that an important issue in particular for the band and something that you felt like you needed to kind of advocate for?
For the video, you mean?
Yeah, for the whole domestic violence awareness type tie-in that you have there.
Yeah. Well, it's a real thing, and I think a lot of people maybe don't know about it. I'm not sure, but it's a real thing, and we were really happy to put this song out for our first single to kind of lead into letting everybody know, like, this is what our new record's going to be like. And then already we're seeing a huge influx of people come to our shows already reacting almost the same way, if not more, than they did to RX. So it's like, yeah, we know we've touched a nerve, but we are here to help, and we've already put out on the video. We wanted to make sure that you could see that we're involved with the domestic hotline to help call in people, anybody that needs help, call them. That's what they're there for. And we also want wanted to make a video that really showed and try and be as true to it as possible, within a 3.5 minute segment of what it really looks like.
Sure.
And we chose not to be in the video. We felt like it was a better solution to represent the real life of it, to have us not in it, and just almost be like a very short movie and a realistic rendition of what this song is really about. So I think the video ties in well with it. And you're right, we have had a lot of pretty heavy reactions to it, and it's because it was done properly, and it was done to show like this is not a joke.
Right, and I think that these songs are just resonating with people in a way that some of your older stuff, not that it doesn't resonate with the fans, but a breakup, a tongue-in-cheek song, they're one thing on a different level than these types of songs that you're including on this new record. I mean, it's just a whole different level of lyrics and heaviness that goes along with it. So I think it touches people in just a different way.
It's a different way. It's not that, the thing is a lot of people in the world break up. They have relationships, they break up. So
Sure.
they can relate to it. And I think that's what gave us the success over the years, is that there was a lot of relation to our, to this for our fans. So like, we get it. We get what you guys are going through, and we go through the same thing. I don't know if this stuff that we're doing now is any better. All I know is that it definitely is in a different realm, and all the other stuff was, this is just darker. This is just a darker, deeper, more serious thing that is going on in the world. So we're writing about it.
And how does the writing process work within the band? Does someone come up with an idea and kind of bring it to the table, or do you all get together? How does that work with Theory?
My singer Tyler writes all the lyrics.
Okay.
And he likes to write the lyrics, not only because he's good at it, which I'm not. I'm not a great lyric writer, and I'll be the first to admit it. But he's good at it. But the thing is when he writes the lyrics, he knows what the song's about. And he can explain it properly. When you have somebody writing songs for you, you don't really know where it's coming from sometimes. It's easy to perform it live, but when you talk to people about it and you try and share this information, you don't write it yourself. You don't really know where it's coming from. And so, as a band, we get to talk. We're in a tour bus all the time together, so we get a chance to talk about this stuff. The four of us, and Tyler goes and he writes it in a song, and then we as a band, and he'll write a lot, like he'll write everything usually on piano or an acoustic guitar or something like that, and then he brings it. He kind of demos it up in a quick demo version for us, and then we as a band get together and in the studio and we put it all together and finish it and make it, finished product with a producer.
Okay.
So that's kind of how we write. A lot of times Tyler will send the stuff to us. I'll work on drum stuff at home for it. I'll record it, send it back to him, be like, hey man, what do you think of this? And he'd be like, yeah, look, sounds great, I love it, and then we kind of use that as a beginning tablet for the actual record. So that's kind of how we write everything.
So when you're going into the studio to record, and this time in London, you already have an idea of kind of where you're going to go with this.
We do. We have a rough idea. Yeah. And again, for me, it's recording the drum parts. For me, is not so much that we're going to. We may keep some of the stuff, we may not, but it's a great starting point for the guys to kind of get an idea of what I had in mind for the the drum part of it. Because drums are important. It makes people tap their feet, drop their heads, and so rhythm section is important. So I try and come up with the ideas beforehand so that we're not completely have no idea what to do when we get to do. We have a general idea of where to start. So it's good that way. And then we finish everything with the producer in the studio.
Okay.
And the producer that we use, Martin, he likes so it's very natural, which is nice.
Now, this time in London, I know that you guys had a chance to visit the Abbey Road studio. So what was that kind of experience like? And were you able to kind of soak up some history and take that back into the studio to finish the recording of your sessions?
So, funny story. I didn't go.
Oh!
And, and this is not the first interview I've done where somebody asked about that. And the last person had asked me about it, I told him the same thing. He couldn't believe it. And I'm starting to really regret not going. I was under the weather when the guys went, so I decided not to go. But I am kind of kicking myself. However, that being said, the guys did go and get a chance to experience it. Of course, they had lots to say about it, so I did get all their information.
Sure, I'm sure.
They were. I mean, clearly, the reaction they came back with was a reaction you'd expect it to be, right? Amazing. I can't believe it. History. Just everything you can think about. If it happened to you, you could imagine it happened to them. So they certainly had a little bit of influence coming back into the studio and finishing the record. Of course, it was just, for them, it was more just being in the room where all that incredible history happened.
Right.
It's more of a, you sit back and look at it and imagine what it would have been like in just being a fly on the wall at that point in time. And of course, the stories
right.
by the engineers that worked there were,
sure.
It was one of those moments that they'll never forget. And like I said, I regret it.
Well, maybe next record he'll get the chance.
Well, who knows if we go back? I mean, if we go back to Martin for a third record, then certainly, it's possible.
Now, you guys have been on the road here in the States for a little bit. So, how did the tour kind of go? And have you been playing any of the new material live?
Tour was great. It was a 6-week run. We just literally finished 2 days ago. We got home yesterday, and it was a great tour, man. Yes, we have been playing History of Violence. We put it in immediately into the first show and played it for the whole tour, and we could tell throughout the course of the tour, every day that the song was on the radio and being spun, streaming, whatnot, you could tell more fans were starting to, cheer for it. They were wanting to hear it. They knew the words. They were singing along to every word. From day one, it wasn't like that because nobody had really heard it yet. It was like the song came out and we immediately started playing it. So we had to let people hear it for a bit before they. So it worked out really great. By the end of the tour, we could tell there was a big difference from when we started playing it to the end of the tour. You could tell people were listening to it and they were really, really enjoying it.
Nice.
And they were meet and greets. We would do a VIP meet and greet before every show. And it was crazy how many people were actually requesting. They're like, please tell me you guys are playing History of Violence tonight. We are. Yes. Oh my God. And then they would tell us why, whether it had been because they just thought it was a good song or maybe they had related to it and lyrically, whatever the case was, everybody seems to really be asking for it. So that was a great feeling. It was like we knew we were doing the right thing. So
awesome.
It was good.
And now you're going to be heading to Europe and then I think to Canada?
Yeah, we got 5 shows. We're going to go over to England, do 5 shows. Okay. Over there real quick. Do some press over there. And then, we come back for Canada. I think the tour starts the 31st of January or something like that. And that goes right over from west to east. And then we come back and do a spring tour in the States. And then we're trying to figure out what it looks like. We're just trying to solidify our summer after that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us and fill us in on everything. And we're looking forward to when the entire album drops.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure. Yeah, we're excited. I can't wait for everybody to hear the rest of it. It's nerve-wracking because it want everybody to hear it now because I heard it right.
Right.
What the reaction's been like for the first song. I'm like, I want everybody to hear the rest. The good thing is that soon, and I don't know why I'm not confirming it. I don't remember why. I don't know what the date was they were looking to do it, but I know there's a grad track coming out very soon. That I will say, and that's just I'm assuming you are familiar with the grad track. It's just a song basically that's we release. We don't push it to radio, or we don't put anything promotion behind it. We just kind of let it go to fans so
right.
they can listen to it. And then we'll have a new single out. The second single, I think, will be kind of leading up, going into the Canadian tour next year, I believe. So.
Okay. So we'll have some things to look forward to.
I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, lots coming out. It's all happening.